be back there say I would be singing back there.
That's how parents do it. They just scream into their pillows. That's what I
Or
do.
cry.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
cry.
you cry into your pillow. You cry yourself to sleep on your great big pillow.
No one is crying today.
Why?
Except tears of joy, because we have Ann Handley of MarketingProfs. She's a Wall Street Journal bestselling author of Everybody Writes and co-author of Content Rules. You can read her newsletter. It's one of my favorite newsletters. Get it in handley.com, Total Anarchy. And we have Caroline Price, who I've known for years, who is blossomed into an amazing content marketer in her own right over at Toast. She's excellent with research, writing. She has a really good instinct for what kind of content is going to resonate with the community she serves. So we're going to talk about live events today, how they're different, why people still need them, how you can make them safer, and all the good stuff.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, welcoming you to The Backpack Show. Your hosts, Chris Brogan, Kerry Gargone, Boom Shakalaka.
Backpack Show.
Woohoo! Do you want to thank our sponsors now, or would you like to do it in the middle after you forget?
Because I would have totally forgotten.
Welcome to the Backpack Show. We have sponsors somehow.
We have sponsors. I was staring at the puppy farm guy. I had forgotten all about that guy.
Oh my God, I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that we asked him the hard questions.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know which puppies for which party?
That's right. Oh, right. Puppy party. I said puppy farm.
Party. Oh my God.
Hey, listen up, punks. We use StreamYard to make this show, and it is getting better and better and better. I loved it right after Carrie told me I had to love it. It is such a great app, and it's gotten so much better in the last little while. And when I say that, like, they just keep adding features, and you don't know when you log in. They're like, "Hey, want a new feature?" And I'm like,
yeah, you can like run a webinar with it now.
Yeah. Ever since the little merger with Hopin, it's just gotten bigger and better. So get your own damn show.
cbrogan.net/StreamYard.
Hey, want to do a podcast? Sure you do. You can just strip out the audio from this thing and make it into a podcast. Oh, someone I know does that sometimes. Castos.com. It is as fun as you think it is. It's very easy to use. My friend Mabaderis works over there, and that's why we used it. And Castos. Hey, want a .online domain? You can get one. You can just use the cbrogan.net/online. You can just type in the word Chris, kind of any way you want.
It has to be all caps or it doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe there's like a lowercase Chris who is sad and alone and anyway wanted a code. So you have to do all caps if you want this .online domain for just $1.
I ate my twin in the womb. Hey, do you want a really cool search engine that's not Google? Presearch.com. It's cool. I don't know.
It's cool. Did you just say it's cool?
That's it.
It's cool.
Leslie here. I've got
Leslie.
The franchise king himself, Your Highness. Hello, sir. Joel Labava. Shall we grab one Caroline Price, one Ann Handley?
I would love to.
If I grab two, it's going to be awkward. Hello, Ann Handley. Hi,
hey.
He has to put everybody like, you're a little loud, Ann. He has to put everybody in the same
Came in hot there,
order.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, it's a hot Friday.
It is hot. Hot diggity.
Hey, can I just tell you some really good news that started my morning?
Yes.
So, for the first time ever, well, one of the first times, at least the first time in recent memory, I solved Wordle in 2.
Me too.
Really?
Yes.
I did not. So listen, Ann, I wanted to say something. When you said, can I tell you some really great news, blah, 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 I was going to jump in and go, would you solve Wordle in 2?
No way.
Shut up.
And I shut up because I was like, maybe you're going to tell me some really important MarketingProfs thing. Oh, I'm so regretful.
Yeah.
No, I wish you said
I wish that you had. Caroline already knew that because one of our things every day is that we text each other Wordle scores.
Yes.
Because that's how we go. And she knows I haven't been murdered in the night, which is a real concern of mine. So
I might do that.
It's a real concern of yours.
If you want, we can add you. You can join in our Wordle party.
I'm into it.
All right.
However,
me too.
Let me make an ad for another site, by the way, because our mutual friend Dharmesh Shah launched his product, which I never paid any attention to, could have given a rat's ass. And then all of a sudden I paid attention to it. He started a site. I'm trying to bring it up. He started a site called wordplay.com. Wordplay has, if you watch the video on the front page, it's one of these great things because Dharmesh is such a fun video maker. He's so stupid shy. He's like looking at his feet the whole time, but he's of course uber genius. So wordplay.com, he says there's I think he says something like there's 9 things that he does better than Wordle and 1 thing that he sucks at. He starts with the suck at. It's that you could play unlimited is his thing he sucks at. Like basically,
okay.
you could just keep going. But also, you could play group challenges. So you just send everybody the link to the same one, and it's on. So anyway,
Caroline, how many tries did it take you to get Wordle today?
I got it in 4, but this was after Ann told me she did it in 2, so I felt a lot of pressure.
I understand. I do
So I
understand.
was just a little nervous. when I was
Guessing
doing it.
willy-nilly. Yeah. Am I less loud now? I don't mean to come in so hot.
Maybe you're just like really excited.
Oh, I am very excited.
You're a little bit loud.
I've had a
Yeah, I did it in 4, and I was just going to give it away, and then I realized that somebody could be watching this show that hasn't actually done it.
So Joel says, Ann, Chris, Carrie, Caroline. Bob says hello from Vermont.
Hey, Bob.
Leslie also got it in 4 today, so don't feel bad at all.
Yeah. I never get it in
Charles
2, by the way. And it kind of it balanced yesterday when I was like a big fat X in 6, like a 0. I did not solve it, which is just soul crushing for me. So, and as it would be for anyone, any true Wordle aficionado.
So
Sorry.
Wordle, I'm kind of like, I was sort of over Wordle for a little bit because when New York Times took it over, they started using like just ridiculously obscure words, and I was really pissed off. But obviously, they didn't shake me loose. So,
for those of you joining us late today, you're on the Backpack Show where we discuss Wordle and Wordle scores.
And Joel Augie is here, and he's a little miffed that he was not included in that shout out. So,
you're gonna have to do better. Do better.
Which
next time.
Carol threw in, Augie. So
stop touching my buttons.
I'm sorry.
So I started first going to live events actually because I was teaching new media marketing, and the school didn't like pay for instructors to go to professional development stuff, which seemed crazy. So I started freelancing and covering events as media, and I would get like a media pass for the event. And MarketingProfs was one of the sites that I would, contribute to and stuff. But your event from the very beginning, the MarketingProfs B2B Marketing Forum, was always the most fun. And I feel like it shouldn't be fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. But if somebody was like, hey, I'm going to go to a B2B marketing conference, the first thing that the next person would say would not be, oh, that sounds fun. It would be like, cool, like a really sort of cautiously optimistic reply.
Yeah.
So live events were great and then went away totally, and now are back. Do you feel like we needed them back? Were you happy to just stay home? Like, is it a combination of the two?
Well, I mean, my default is that always I will stay home, but just that's my resting state. I much prefer to be on my couch than anywhere else in the world, really. But that's just something I have to constantly push against. So yeah, I agree with you, Carrie, by the way. When I think about the idea of let's go to a B2B marketing event, it doesn't sound like the most fun thing in the world, and especially the MarketingProfs event, because the name of it is literally like has no color, no energy, no personality whatsoever. The B2B forum, like, that's even more so. But to answer your question, it's like, yeah, I absolutely think that there is a need for it. To be honest, I kind of went into our event in October feeling like, well, we'll see how this goes. I mean, I thought we were really able to bring a lot of personality and a lot of fun experience to the virtual event that we had run for the past few years, in the height of the pandemic. But then I went into October feeling like, all right, well, let's do this. And then I came out the other side, a few days of just really connecting with people and having true conversations face to face. And even though there was a sort of lingering vibe of, am I going to get COVID at this event? I still feel like it was so fantastic just to see people in person, bumping into Chris Brogan in the elevator and being like, come join us, seeing you, Carrie, seeing Caroline, seeing Carol, who's in the audience here today. And it was just, I don't know, it was so, and Carol and I actually met for the first time ever after being friends online for a couple of years. So that was special. And I think, the mantra that you can't really replace. Thank you, Joel. On behalf of Augie, the fact that you like this sort of cliched idea that, you'll never replace face-to-face. I mean, it's a cliche, but I think it's 100% true. as well.
Seems to be. So your audio is a tiny bit clicky. So we're going to talk to
Oh,
Caroline
no.
for a minute. Can you like
Jeez.
refresh and like unplug and replug or something?
What is
How about
going
that?
on with my audio today? I don't know.
I
Sorry. All right. So I'll refresh
know.
and come back. Is
We'll
that what
see
I
in a
do?
minute. Yeah. do
Yeah, and
that.
like
All right.
unplug and replug your thingy, whatever you're using, your headset.
Okay. My headset. Okay. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
So
Cool.
Caroline, there you were at the Marketing Profs event. I'm going to talk to you about Toast in a minute because that's a thing too. But there you were at the Marketing Profs event. Was that probably your first public event since the pandemic thing started? Like first business public event since the pandemic started?
Yeah, I think it was. That was my first probably business event ever, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
You've
you've
been to
been, yeah, you've been to the
events
B2B
before.
Well, that
forum
I've been to professionally. I would
Oh,
say.
as a person representing the
As a
company.
person,
as a person.
yeah, who has
As a
a job
person.
and is like in the workforce. Because I've
Not
been to
just,
B2B
like-
probably most years
Yeah.
of my life, but most of the time I was in high school and just there for the parties. So
Like as a lurker.
yeah, as a lurker.
We have an
Um,
international audience, so not everybody knows what toast is. How do you explain this to people who think it's the bread with delicious butter?
It's a restaurant technology company. So like everything that a restaurant would need in terms of technology. So like a point of sale, online ordering, inventory, team management, basically anything that's in the back end of like running a restaurant, Toast creates.
So I have to think like during the pandemic, they had a little bit of a surge in interest in their technology.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that they did a good job sort of like creating products that people needed a lot at the time. So like building up their online ordering, figuring out ways to like make ordering and paying contactless, delivery, all that kind of stuff.
When you said the way you explained it, because I've always just thought of it as the point of sale device. Like I always think it's the thing I stuff my credit card in and like, hey, I paid another meal. Oh, look, we have actual spam for the first time in forever. That's so cool.
Oh, this has
Thanks.
to be Ann.
That means you're popular.
Is anybody interested in private dating chat girls? Because I could put these up.
You could get them at girls69.
I'm also.
Not a sponsor. Caroline, what I was going to say is when you said it the way you said it, I went, oh, I didn't know that's what Toast did. Because like in my head, it's like the POS. But if you say you're handling the ordering stuff as well, does that make, for instance, Clover a poor competitor?
I guess so.
Okay. Because the little local pizza place in town just gave up on ordering. They don't even take phone orders anymore. They just
come on.
Give it to the app.
No.
And so they're dead to me. But I used to like their old online ordering system, which was clearly made by a bunch of monkeys in a garage. And I didn't know. So you can do online ordering for a restaurant through Toast as well?
Yeah.
Does that link to like the Dashers and whatever they all are, Grubhubs and stuff of the world?
Oh, like Uber
Yeah,
Eats.
they have a bunch of integrations, all kinds of DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all that kind of stuff.
So what do you do over there?
It's content marketing, silly.
Well, no, but I mean, like, what do you do? Like, what's a day like for you? What do you have to type? What do you have to?
So I run one of our content platforms called On the Line. So it's like our blog that does like all sort of like more top of funnel, like restaurant stories, like stories with our owners and operators in the restaurant community. And yeah, talking about sort of how to run a restaurant, how to operate, how to market, all that kinds of stuff. So yeah, On the Line is what I do at Toast Tab.
Joel just finished writing an entire piece on digital ordering for a client in the restaurant franchise space. Well, I hope you reference the Caroline Price's content because it's damn good. Order up some of that. So Caroline, was it different attending the MarketingProfs B2B Marketing Forum as like a person with a job and some stuff you wanted to learn versus lurking and waiting for party time?
It definitely was. It was fun because my whole team was there. Not everyone, but a good chunk. So it was fun, like actually getting to go see the sessions and meeting new people. But I also did do quite a bit of lurking, and I had to take breaks because it was a lot being there all day, being like talking to people all day. So
oh yeah, Ann doesn't know anything about being there all day.
But you're an introvert.
Not used to that much human interaction.
I'm an introvert. Ann's an introvert. Like, Carrie's, reasonably extroverted, but is,
I'm extroverted till I'm not, and then I'm
That's right.
done with everybody for a while.
So we're really funny to be talking about live events because we're like, yeah, they're really important as long as I can get away.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yes.
Anne, you had said that there's nothing like it. You can't replace it. And I feel like a lot of us were like, oh, Zoom's fine. Like webinars are fine. But then when everybody got back together, you could just see they were glowing. Like it was a completely different feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just that the immersive experience of it is different. Is my audio better, by the way?
Yeah, so far so
Okay,
good. Except
good.
for the weed whacker
Excellent.
outside.
Is it
Who's
real?
weed whacking in December?
It's my heat in the tiny house.
Well,
But
I'm happy that we have heat.
I'm gonna play it off as a weed whacker. There's a lot of weeds that grow in December.
Joel's going to connect with Caroline on LinkedIn. So just so you know, he's not some random. They're good eggs. One of the things you did, Anne, that I thought was kind of amazing
Yeah.
was after the event, like you emailed around to say, hey, some people tested positive for COVID after the event. You should check yourself. We want you to be safe. I've been to many other events, even bigger ones. They don't do that, even though you know damn sure that some people got COVID after them. So
yeah,
why? I loved it, but like, why did you do it, and what kind of response did you get?
Yeah. Well, we did it because people tested positive after the event. And we just wanted people to know, give them a heads up. We had a conversation internally, actually a debate internally about, all right, so we are aware of a few people who were at the event who tested positive, and do we let people know? Do we give them a heads up, or do we just kind of not? And in the end, we just felt like, I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do. And especially for our community, at MarketingProfs, this was a smaller event. So, I mean, I don't know if we were hosting an event that was like a Dreamforce, and you had 100,000 people there. Actually, I don't even know how many people go to Dreamforce, but a much bigger number than 450. And so because of that, I felt like some responsibility, I guess, for lack of a better word, to just like give people a heads up, and not in a heavy way, but just to say, listen, this happened. We want you to be safe. We want you to be aware. Maybe people would automatically test if they've been in a crowd before they are back home again, but maybe not. So just to let people know that we did have some confirmed cases. And I think, there was a little bit of a debate just on social media who, loves to debate everything about like, well, yeah, but would you do this if it was like, I don't know, a Chicago Bulls game? And it's like, no, probably not. But it wasn't a Chicago Bulls game, right? It was actually just our small community, and it felt like we just wanted to let people know.
That's going to put a real dent in registrations for the doorknob licking contest next year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I think we're going to have to forget about that. And the apple bobbing, huge mistake. I don't know why we did that. Should not have done that. But, you live, you learn. It's all about in 2022, just creating better experiences for people. And if some of that means that you put your face in a bucket of water and bob for an apple and you get COVID, then that's how it works.
We all got to go sometime.
You got to put a stake in the ground, Carrie, in terms of the reaction, like most people were very positive. Like we get tons of responses back. I mean, it's a pretty small audience that we mailed it to anyway, because again, 450. But so it wasn't like we mailed it to the entire, list of hundreds of thousands of people. So already it was a pretty small event. We required proof of vaccination to register. So it already skewed toward people who would probably want to know that there was a confirmed case or two. And so the reaction was mostly positive. Actually, now that I think of it, through customer service or from, direct feedback from our audience, it was only positive.
So your email tested positive?
Yeah, our email tested positive is another way to put it. That's actually, I wish I'd said that. Damn it. Damn it.
That's why you're a writer, and we both know that,
I would have workshopped that. And Carrie just like comes up with it automatically.
Go to the room.
I just want to pick up on one thing you said before, Carrie, about like, and actually maybe just to pick up what you said, Chris, too, about how, yeah, we're all introverts here, yet we're all saying just how amazing in-person events are. But, I think it's how you experience in-person events. And this time I actually intentionally did take breaks because, maybe part of it is because I, like Caroline said, I wasn't used to that kind of constant interaction throughout the day. But in prior years, I kind of snuck off to my room, at the hotel, just to sort of like, just bring it down, decompress. But this time I literally built in like opportunities to just go off and like just be on my own. And first I thought it was like just me, that like I literally built in those times to do that. But then Carol, who just commented a minute ago that she built in breaks for herself too. And the best part for me, and I don't know if Caroline was going to share this, but at one point I walked into the speakers lounge, and Caroline is literally sitting behind the desk in the speakers lounge, the reg desk in the speakers lounge, just kind of like having some me time, you know. So I think
Augie was.
Yeah, that's true. That's where the dog was.
Hi, Lisa.
My emotional support dog.
Hi to Lisa from Mindful Marketer.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
So, Caroline, did you find it more tiring as somebody attending like professionally than you did as like a lurker? Or does it have an upside? Like, did you find that the people you were with for work made pretty good like pals in between?
Yeah, it was definitely tiring at times, but it was also really energizing, and it was exciting to be there with my team, and we're like pretty much all remote. And so I don't really get to see them very often. So it was really fun to see them. They came from like Chicago and LA and Charleston, like all over. So yeah, overall it was really fun to see them, and more exciting than tiring for sure.
And I know you don't have your hands on as many things directly as before. I mean, you have a team and the team does things. And I don't know if you do anything with speaker coaching, but in this past April, I was in an event in Las Vegas. And one of the things I said to my people speaking was, you have to remember that we've all been in Zoom for so long. You can't stand at your podium. You have to engage the audience. This is the one chance you have to actually reach out and touch someone, consensually. Did you do any kind of guidance to that, like in speaker prompts, or did the company do any kind of guidance to sort of make sure people realize that this is a real opportunity to interact and engage?
Not as expressly, because a lot of the speakers at this year's forum are seasoned speakers. So I can't say that there was any, overt coaching going on. But, our mutual friend, Ashley Zachman, said to me, right just a few days before the event, I said that I was feeling like just nervous about being like on stage in front of the audience again. Because like for me personally, it does feel like higher stakes. It's not like I'm going to, I don't know, Content Marketing World or, some digital summit somewhere where it's not my audience, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's not just mine, but it's not the MarketingProfs audience. And so it did feel like higher stakes for me. And Ashley said something that really stuck with me. It was so wise. She said, just remember that like everybody is basically feeling as kind of unsure and tentative as you are. We're all trying to figure out not just how to be on stage, but how to like be next to one another again.
Yeah, people again.
Yeah, and it was actually really freeing for me when I heard her say that. It's like it sort of lodged in my head, and it was enormously helpful in ways that she probably doesn't even realize how much it stuck with me. But yeah, so I guess it's not necessarily just from the podium, but I think it's true just everywhere. Like you gotta sort of unclench your metaphorical podium as well.
There were definitely some weird moments. Like people have clearly been on lockdown for a
I know.
while.
Well, like, you go up to somebody and like my default would always be to like give them a hug, and not so much anymore, and it's like there's this awkward dance at first where it's like, I don't know. And so we tried to do things like give people ribbons for their badges that said, open to hugs or like handshake only, please. And I don't know, felt a little hokey,
I was waiting for them to get like kinky at the bottom of the pile. Like, I like handcuffs. Pull my hair. Because it was pretty specific. Like, yes to hugs.
The sticker. Yeah.
Yeah, or I'd like a high five.
I lost the train.
Yeah, they were like,
the thread.
People had like long assortments of badges hanging, like stickers hanging from their badges. So you'd be looking at these ribbons.
Yeah, I know.
As I get to the bottom, I'd be like, this is feeling very sketchy.
Well, no. My personal experience with that at that summit was, so I was sort of like lobby hiding for a while and just playing around with people. And Christopher Penn, who for many years before this event wore masks and things because, he was of the mindset like something awful will happen. Of course, he's always right. So, we have a kind of almost ritual that we do where I try to shake his hand and he tries to kill me.
Yeah.
And this time I was like, I don't even know. Were we going to do pantomime this?
Yeah.
You know, but he tried to kill me still. Okay.
He always knows. He always knows how he would if he had to. That's the thing.
There's a fantastic photo from the event of Christopher Penn, who, we had two little Cavalier King Charles Spaniels there, and there's a fantastic photo from the event where Chris, like, fully masked in his like fantastic like Darth Vader kind of mask, and it's taken from the profile, and so he's literally like crouched down on the floor, like full on like like downward dog pose, with the two spaniels fully masked, and the dogs are like, what is this? It's so amazing. So yeah, he leans into it.
Flip you a 20 if you get that photo out to this side of the aisle.
That's a ribbon for next year. Hey, I'll do anything for $20. Here you go, Chris. We'll get you that one.
Caroline, one question for you about this. So you said this is the first time you had the opportunity to bring most of your team there. This is, one of the first times you've been at an event as a professional and all that. And like, it's a little obvious if you're like, clearly my mom runs the best event, but what do you take from this? Like, what do you expect from other events? Like, if you got yourself a ticket to some other kind of event that's in your field, what would you expect them to have based on what you have already appreciated at the Profs events?
Say Ann Handley. Say Ann Handley. Say.
I know that's always my favorite part, is just watching you speak. But I also really thought,
me too.
Everything was great. The food was like so good, and I feel like that's something that, I can't imagine that is at every single event, because I feel like that's probably like more of a expensive thing to do. But the food was so good. It was like great snacks. All the meals for the keynotes were amazing. They were like full, like plated, like meals. And the breakfast, they had those biscuits. So I would expect really good food.
Spoken like someone who works at a place called Toast.
Oh my God. You know what's so funny about that? Like, so every year after the event, like every event, we survey the audience and we're like, tell us what you like, what you didn't like, rank the speakers, rank the sessions, like all of that. But do you know what? People comment on 100%, like almost every single survey comes back with a comment about the food. And this time it was
really good.
It was like people just appreciate it. And I literally feel like, we started this conversation talking about like, kind of how events have changed. But I think a big thing is you've got to think about the experience. And people sometimes go through experience, like they think through that lens of like, oh, we've got to provide like different kinds of opportunities for networking and, different, on-site, like, I don't know, walk through exhibits and like, installations and like activations and things like that. And yeah, that's probably good, but you know what people will take away? How good was the food? Like Caroline just proved that so beautifully.
I have to put a big comment up. It's going to shove us all to the very tippy top. Look at Mike Wazowski. Lisa Norell says, wish I were there. We hosted our 6th CMO's Leading Innovation Conference in Charleston, and our people were thrilled to spend quality time reconnecting in person. We allowed lots of unstructured time and outdoor activity.
Outdoors, yes.
Outdoors.
Fun.
Yeah, outdoors for sure.
Steve Garfield's photo walk,
Yeah.
Oh, photo walk was so good. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I used to request that when I worked at MarketingProfs and did the forum. I would request it just to get outside for like an hour.
I know.
It's so
that's
good.
true.
It's so much fun. You put so much thought into it. But everything at the B2B forum is so well thought out. It's so fun. Like, things don't have to be fun. Sure, you could get the job done if the point was just knowledge transfer, but that's not going to make the experience memorable. And it's not going to make people come back.
Yeah.
So we didn't,
true.
We didn't get like terribly into the nuts and bolts, but you mentioned you required vaccination. You made an effort to incorporate, outdoor things and give people time to have unstructured time. Like, you accommodated what people needed. And I think that's what will always make your event better. And Caroline, seeing you is amazing. So, when Toast presents an event, I feel like it's going to be up to you to make sure it's as good.
Yeah, I'll let the events team do that, but I'll do that.
But chime in.
Yeah, chime in on the food situation, because that's important.
For sure. And if the choice is like fun
the snacks
or not fun,
yeah,
definitely push towards the fun.
The soft pretzels are my favorite.
I know. I still think about those pretzels.
We made a dinner reservation for that night, and I regret it. I wish we had stayed longer
I
at
know
the
those
Oktoberfest.
those pierogies.
Because
Let's
the
talk
food
about the
was so,
pierogies.
the pierogies.
Yeah.
They were so
Okay,
good.
listen up, punks.
Oh, and here's our person of the day. Kaboom!
Well, if I give person of the day away on volume, I have to give it to Carol, who was very communicative and very good. You win person of the day. Instead of an apple today, you are going to get a soft pretzel from MarketingProfs.
Oh,
Yep.
let's throw in a
So,
pierogi
there you
too.
go.
Can we
Of
give
course,
a
by the
pierogi?
time it gets to Montreal, it's going to be like a paperweight. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy that business. So we've come to the part of the show that we've asked every single guest that's ever been on the show, which is what goes in your backpack. This could be something like hope for the future. It could be something physical like an avocado. Carrie, what's a good physical thing that you could throw into a backpack?
Extra set of teeth,
That's not a bad one.
just in case. You never know.
You
DJ
might need a second
Cumberbunds.
set of teeth.
That was DJ Cumberbund's contribution.
Is there a metaphorical thing that would be good to add to a backpack?
I am legally required to say kindness. Ariel Helvetica's contribution to the backpack.
She was
Because,
a burlesque performer.
Because I laughed in her face when she said it and it was rude. So now every time that's my example. I had
Kindness.
reasons. I was not laughing at her. I was laughing because
her.
of something that happened right before. But anyway.
I'm going to start with Caroline. What would you like to add to the backpack today?
I feel like I would say a soft pretzel. Like I just gotta have a snack.
Now I
Like
really
you're
want
thinking.
pretzels. Soft
Nobody
ones.
does well when they're
I'm hungry
hangry.
too. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Oh no.
You didn't have toast?
Toast.
Oh,
Yeah, I would add toast.
You know what?
I would add toast in my backpack.
this goes. I was just about to say that, Chris Brogan, and then there you go. That's my payback for not giving you that. Would you get a
Wordle
2 on
and 2
Wordle?
satisfaction?
Yeah.
Perfect setup. What goes in your backpack, Ann?
What goes in my backpack? I would carry Augie with me all day, every
I
day.
knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
You need like a little
It's
puppy
a-
Bjorn.
yeah. It's a.
They have those, right? That's a thing.
It's a must-have. Yeah. The second
Puppy
thing.
Bjorn.
Can I get 2?
Sure.
Because you had
Fine.
2 with kindness and teeth.
Fine, but then
teeth.
Caroline gets another one.
My second thing would be reading material, just because I go everywhere with reading material.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, you know what's funny? I am actually
don't.
rereading Charlotte's Web. I don't know. I just picked it. Actually, there's a specific reason why.
Shenanigans.
Because a good friend of mine gave me a first edition of Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, published in 1952 for my birthday, which was in November. And I wanted the experience of reading a first edition, so that's literally why I am reading it. So yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Bar from
It
Trader
smells like an
Joe's.
old book. It's wonderful. It's just, you never read the same book you never read the same book twice. Like by that I mean like in quite the same way. And this is probably like, I don't know, my 8th or 9th time reading Charlotte's Web as an adult, and I'm still picking up new things. And the book is only like 100 pages long. So
I'm on a crazy indie horror streak still, which you could tell if you look at the backpack show.
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
horror author.
Carrie's
But they
guest
also
list is a whole bunch of female
shut
horror
up.
authors.
But they also do many other things as well that are very interesting. Like one is also a librarian. Thank you. One is a Latina horror author who wrote a book about Aliens Vasquez, a character who is much
a
loved,
minor character,
but had no
who has a whole
backstory.
book.
Yeah. Anyway, so it is always fun.
Big.
Yes.
I like it.
Caroline, did you have a second item? I just feel like I gave you the opportunity. No.
Mustard for the pretzel.
Yeah.
She's not playing in our reindeer games. I get it now. I understand.
Caroline is my hero. She's always been like an activist for causes and political candidates she cares about and wants to support. And you know what? She's done so much more at her age than I had done at mine. I was like wasting my youth screwing around. So thank you for joining us today.
That you're my hero.
You are the wind beneath my wings. Fly.
No, not going to go for it.
I'm so eager to do it.
I was waiting.
Backpack Show.
The wind beneath my wings.
Oh, so much better.
I hit the wrong button. Son of a biscuit. I tried to
What button
leave the
did you hit?
studio.